Good afternoon, everyone. This is an update on the tropics for November 6th, 2022. We are going to be talking a lot more about now Invest 98L, and this is north of the Lesser Antilles, also north of Puerto Rico. This is going to be headed over towards the Bahamas and even into Florida as a possible hurricane by the middle of this week. As we get into it here, this is the current satellite imagery, the infrared satellite imagery that we are looking at from early this afternoon. As you can see, Invest 98L was just targeted right here, and this is currently north of the Virgin Islands, north of Puerto Rico as well, and northeast of the Dominican Republic. This is going to be making a northwestern turn and eventually headed right into the Florida and Bahamas area, possibly by Wednesday and Thursday of next week. And models have said that this could become a hurricane. The National Hurricane Center now says that this could be a hurricane that does impact the east side of the Florida coast. We also have Invest 97L, and this is also a good chance of development into a tropical storm, possibly another double tropical storms here, even a double hurricane potential once again in the Atlantic, and this might bring it to an average hurricane season. Now, here's the National Hurricane Center that was issued about 1 p.m. Eastern. As you can see, we have those two that are kind of going in the opposite directions. We have Invest 98L headed towards the Florida coast. We also have Invest 97L that's headed off to the northeast. Invest 98L now has a 90% chance. Pretty much this is going to be forming into a tropical storm at least over the next 5 days, and we do have Invest 97L at a 70% chance over those next 5 days. And reading from the National Hurricane Center for Invest 98L, an area of low pressure located more than 200 miles north of Puerto Rico is producing a large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. This system is forecast to be moved northward and then northwestward into the southwestern Atlantic, where environmental conditions appear conducive for additional development, and a subtropical or tropical storm is likely to form in the next day or so. Looking at the GEFS ensemble spaghetti model, and this goes out to 120 hours out here. As you can see, by around hour 96, hour 72 or so, we see this making landfall literally just to the north of Miami. Miami is just right down here, just right to the north of Miami. Looks like this spaghetti model here does it making a direct landfall around the West Palm Beach area. Again, that's just going to be north of Fort Lauderdale, Fort Miami as well. That's also going to be just south of the Port St. Lucie. That's actually going to be right near the Port St. Lucie area, south of Cocoa Beach as well. And that could even make more impacts of where Ian made impacts, which would definitely not be a good thing, especially it being November. We don't usually see a hurricane hitting Florida in November, and just Florida has been just getting hit and hit this year by constant tropical storms and hurricanes. But unfortunately, I think you are going to get another hurricane before the season ends, except on the East Coast this time. Here's the GFS model here, and this is not going to be that far out. This is not a long-range forecast at all. This is only a few days out from now. So the National Hurricane Center is becoming a lot more confident that this could be a hurricane impacting the Florida coast as soon as Thursday of this week. And as you can see, we move forward with this model. This kind of goes northward and then makes a southern westward turn, where eventually it gets to hurricane strength, and the max it gets down to here is 973 millibars. That is potential major hurricane status that could be impacting Florida and the East Coast, which means you do need to get prepared now, the East Coast, because this is likely to happen. We probably not a major hurricane, but possibly a strong Category 1, Category 2 hurricane could be impacting here very soon on the East Coast of Florida. So definitely need to prepare now before even those forecasts come out, because I am confident that this is going to be either a strong tropical storm or even a strong Category 1 or Category 2 hurricane that does impact here on the southeast coast of Florida. It's going to bring a lot of heavy rain, possibly storm surge, hurricane force winds, and even tornado activity. So I definitely need to make plans now ahead of this storm. European model has this as a strong tropical storm, maybe even a weak hurricane, making landfall there. But European model has generally just kind of eventually grabbing on to some of these other stronger models. European model usually has these storms weak at first, but as we get closer to the event, this might be even stronger than the European model of what it's saying right now. CMC model again has a hurricane making landfall there in more of a northern track has the CMC model, and this could very well make a more northern track right into the Orlando area. We're not really pinpointing on the track because it is going to be doing a very weird movement, kind of a wobbly movement towards Florida, and that may change the track to north, that may change the track to more south. You have to watch it very closely and get the latest updates. Right now, the entire east coast of Florida needs to watch this very closely and have those emergency plans in place in case the worst case scenario does erupt. As we look at the Icon model here, Icon model again has another hurricane that does head right into the central east coast there of Florida, and that's right near the Cocoa Beach area, right pretty much right in between the Cocoa Beach and Daytona Beach of what the Icon model has. So CMC model again has landfall around this area right here. The Icon model has landfall around right here, and GFS model has landfall right there. European model has kind of in between these three. So again, the entire Florida coast possibly could see, or anywhere along the east coast of Florida, we could see that hurricane landfall. We don't know the direct path of this. We do know that it is going to be a tropical storm at least, and again, a possibly strong hurricane again that's going to be impacting Florida around Wednesday and Thursday. So that's going to be 9 p.m. of Wednesday. As we get to around 12 a.m. of Thursday, this looks like it might make landfall overnight. But again, those times will change. We're still a little bit out from landfall. This hasn't developed into even a tropical storm yet. And the National Hurricane Center is confident that this might be a hurricane that is going to be impacting Florida around midweek. So we will constantly keep you updated with this, especially since Florida is being impacted once again. Still not a ton of details, but tomorrow we might see a tropical storm very soon. Might even see a tropical storm named by tonight, and that's when we will get a lot of those impact details for Florida, so you know exactly what to expect. But right now we don't have a ton. I do know that we will see flooding, we will see those hurricane force winds, and a lot of those generalized hurricane impacts that we generally see. But again, we don't know the direct area of those impacts just yet, because these models are still kind of shifting and shaping of where this is going to head. We do know this is going to head into the east coast of Florida, but just not exactly that pinpointed track. So again, daily uploads on this possible hurricane around 2 p.m. Central Time throughout this week. So make sure to turn those post notifications on. Once you subscribe to the channel, you won't miss a single upload or live stream on this potential hurricane Nicole. So like the video and share those friends and family that do live along the east coast of Florida and that do want these updates on this potential hurricane. We will keep you updated as much as possible. But as always, I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.